Now, a fun way to think of tannins in terms of food pairings, I always use coffee as a great example. So a single shot of espresso is really high in concentrated tannins. If I make a black Americano, I add hot water to the espresso and I dilute my tannins across my black Americano. So now every sip that I take compared to that espresso has physically less tannins in it, and I won't feel those harsh tannins. What happens now when I add milk and make a latte instead of making that black Americano? Suddenly, I have proteins in my milk. The tannins in that espresso are binding onto those proteins. And when I drink my latte, not only is it diluted because of the milk and the addition of more liquid, but also those tannins are grabbing and distracted onto the proteins in my milk as opposed to the ones in my mouth. So some of us are huge fans of espressos and black Americanos. And I would say that those people will have a higher tolerance or enjoyment to tannins than those who would prefer to have milkier, creamier coffees that will distract your tannins, which is probably the reason that you're enjoying those coffees in the first place. Now let's put that back into a wine perspective. If some of us like tannins, like black Americano and espresso drinkers, and if some of us are not so much into tannins, like latte drinkers, then when it comes to a red wine, what can we do in terms of food pairings to make our experience better? If we had a big tannic wine like a Barolo or a Californian Cabernet Sauvignon, those of us who like those tannins would be perfectly fine with that wine. But I think those of us who might not be into those tannins so much, pairing with cheeses, meats, or high protein food will be an incredible way to distract those tannins away from your mouth to your food and give you a better experience. But again, this is completely subjective as an individual to whether you're into your tannins or not. And a lot of food and drink pairings, if not most or all, are completely subjective to the individual as opposed to large sweeping generalizations of what we think should go better with food and drink.